and no one is going to hear me. So I could literally be eating in my house. For those of you who don't know me, I actually go to the morning service, and this is my first time in the evening service. So I've been here for a while, but some of you probably have never seen me. Some of you do know me because I did teach the apologetics class this winter. So that's how I ended up here. So, any of you are curious. If you recall, Nick has been going through the book of John. And John is in the New Testament. So I wanted to take us back to the Old Testament. And I wanted to do a passage of 1 Kings. So I'm going to start by reading the passage and then we'll go into it. This is from 1 Kings 19, 1 to 18. Now Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a message to Elijah saying, "So may the gods do to me, and more also, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by this time tomorrow." Then he was afraid, and he arose and ran for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a broom tree. And he asked that he might die, saying, "It is enough. Now, Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my father's." And he lay down and slept under the broom tree. And behold, an angel touched him and said to him, "Arise and eat." And he looked, and behold, there was a cake at his head, baked on hot stones, and a jar of water. And he ate and drank and lay down again. And the angel of the Lord came again a second time, and touched him and said, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." And he arose and ate and drank, and went in strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights to Horeb, the mountain of God. Then he came to a cave, and lodged in it. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. And he said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He said, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. For the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant, throw down your altars, and kill your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away." And he said, "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains, and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper. And when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his cloak, and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. And behold, there came a voice to him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He said, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. The people of Israel forsaking your covenant, throw down your altars, and kill your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away." And the Lord said to him, "Go return your way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when you arrive, you shall know Hazael, who became over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, you shall know, who became over Israel. And Elijah, the son of Shaphat, of Abel-Maholah, you shall know to be prophet in the place. And the one who escapes from the sword of Hazael shall Jehu put down. And the one who escapes from the sword of Jehu shall Elijah put down. Yet I have left 7,000 in Israel, all the knees that have not bowed the veil, and every mouth that has not kissed him." This is God's word. This passage is one of my favorite from the Old Testament, because to me, it reveals a lot about the character of God. A lot that we tend to miss when we just kind of read through the Old Testament. It is very popular in today's secular world to say the God of the Old Testament is just a wrathful, brute, pagan deity that just shows his judgment on anger. But if you read through it carefully, especially passages like this, it will reveal the ultimate wisdom of God in ways that we cannot find in today's day and age. Now, what do I mean by that? Elijah in this passage is a very depressed person. He has fallen into utter depression at the point he's ready to commit suicide. And you can learn a lot about someone's worldview when you see how they treat a depressed person. And God does that in this chapter, so we see a lot. Now we need to ask, why is Elijah so depressed? The previous passage Elijah is full of confidence, and it's actually the most famous passage about Elijah. Any of you were in Sunday school as a kid, you've heard it. It's when Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal at Mount Carmel, and he has them build 2 altars. And he has the prophets of Baal, come on, pray to Baal, have fire come down and let your altar on fire. And they pray, and nothing happens. And Elijah gets confident. He starts to mock them. He starts to show his utter confidence in God. And they eventually give up. And then Elijah has his altar doused in water. And he prays to God. And fire comes down from heaven. It consumes the altar. Then it consumes the other altar. And then it consumes the earth underneath. And the people fall down. And they say, the Lord is God. The Lord is God. And the interesting thing is the last verse of this passage. It says that Elijah ran all the way to the capital with the power of the Lord upon him and ran to the entrance of Jezreel. Now at the time, Jezreel was the capital of Israel. Elijah was a armed man. They wanted him dead. Why would he want directly to the capital where the very people who were in charge wanted him dead? The only reason is he knew in his heart of hearts that this was the time. Now God was going to act. Either Jezebel and Ahab would be overthrown, or they would repent. But somehow the people would rise up and they would restore true worship of God back in Israel. But one way or another, we get to chapter 19, and we see that doesn't happen. Jezebel isn't even impressed. She's not even fazed. She says directly to Elijah, may I be struck dead tomorrow unless I kill you by tomorrow. And Elijah runs away in fear. And he's running to the mountain of God. Why? Because he's saying, God, I don't know who you really are. Which we'll see in a moment. Why did he become so depressed so quickly? Because Elijah had a plan, and it didn't work. And now he's out of ideas. He's out of miracles. He doesn't know what to do. He threw all of his wonders and miracles out, and it didn't work. The evil people are still ruling the nation. No one has risen up. As you notice, there's no coup. There's no demonstrators trying to defend Elijah. He's still alone. And so he's running to the mountain of God because he's saying, God, I did everything perfect. And you do not hold up your end of the plan that I have. And we see how utterly depressed he actually is. Look at what happens in the verse 3 here. It says he leaves his servant in Beersheba. Now, Elijah doesn't have a servant because he's a rich man. Elijah has a servant because he's a prophet. He's letting his ministry go. He's letting his staff go. He said, I quit the ministry. I'm done with this. And then he leaves. And we see how utterly depressed he is. Because he finally gets down into the wilderness. And he says, all right, God, take my life. Now, for the Christians in this room, I have spoken with some of you in the past, and I know some of you have spoken with online, have been depressed, have contemplated suicide here and there. Notice in this passage, as depressed as Elijah is, he still does not think he has the right to take his own life. He still knows that is what only God can do. But still, he is so depressed that he is ready for God to just end his life. He says, take my life. And how does God handle this depressed person? Well, the first thing to note is when God reveals himself, he reveals himself in unbelievable wisdom. When God shows up, ask yourself, what's the very first thing he does for Elijah? Does he show up and say, repent, follow before me, for I am the Lord? No. Does he say, fear not, for I bring you good tidings? No. What is the very first thing he does? Does he say, well, do you want to talk about it? No. The very first thing God does, he cooks. He cooks them a meal. Notice there's cakes on a hot stove. He says, arise and eat. So what does that tell us? Well, The first thing it tells us is God is not like a lot of Christians today. At the moment someone is depressed, it is a spiritual issue. They must be doing something wrong. A lot of Christians, myself in the past, have come across a depressed person, and the first thing we say is, okay, well, have you confessed all your sins? Have you repented? Have you rebuked the devil? Have you prayed in faith? Have you thanked God for your goodness? Have you reflected on the good? Have you declared the faith of God? Have you declared the gifts of God? Have you declared the power of God? But Elijah is a physical being. And he lives in a physical universe. And when you're a physical being, there's a physical aspect to you. Sometimes, when you're depressed, or when someone is depressed, you don't need a lecture. They don't even need a sermon. Sometimes they just need a good meal and a good night's sleep. Sometimes they just need to take a break. Sometimes they just need to recharge. And God, in His infinite wisdom, does that. He shows up and He just kind of acknowledges Elijah's feelings. He says, you're tired, you need to recharge, you need to eat, you need to rest. But God not only does that, God recognizes that there are more natures to humans. Because sometimes we don't need a lecture, sometimes we just need to be touched. We need to know that there's someone there who cares for us. And God comes and He touches Elijah. And sometimes we just need to talk. God doesn't lecture Elijah. You notice, God comes to Elijah and says, what are you doing here? Now, if God asks somebody a question, it's never to get information from God. He's asking it so that you can get information about you. So He lets Elijah talk. He lets Elijah get his emotions out. He just listens. He listens to Elijah. He listens to his pain. He listens to what he's doing through. But we also can see in this passage, Elijah makes several mistakes. Several mistakes, and God is very patient to pull them out and show them. And a lot of times, when we read the Bible, we have a lot of times relating to the characters because they live in a completely different culture. They live in this collectivist ancient culture. But Elijah can relate to us in a lot of ways because we've all been depressed. We've all been at really low points. And we can really feel exactly what he's going through this. But he makes a lot of mistakes. And you can see it in what he says. What is the one thing he says to God over and over? He says, I've been very zealous for the Lord. Look, God, I did everything perfect. I was very zealous for you. I did exactly what I should have done. Why did you act? Why didn't you overthrow Ahab and Jezebel? Why did you come in? Look, there's no one left for me. I'm alone. You've abandoned me. I'm all alone. You're not giving me any support. Why did you do this to me? And a lot of times, we also fall into the exact same issue. I highly doubt there is someone in this room who's been like, no, I've always trusted God. I've never had a plan that was my own. And, we've all been there. And Elijah is going through exactly the same thing. And God responds in His infinite wisdom. He takes care of all of Elijah's needs, but at the same time, He tells Elijah to keep going. Because God also recognizes we too have a spiritual nature. We too need to be in God's Word. We do need to actually be seeking Him. So He calls Elijah to keep going. He says, get up the journey and follow. Because He wants Elijah to keep going, because He understands Elijah needs to be in God's Word. He has missed the point of God's Word. He's missed the point of God's command. See, one of the things I love about this passage is that you can learn a lot about someone and how they treat a depressed person, like you said. On one hand, they're very materialistic people, very secular people who say, you're all chemical, you're all biology, so if you're depressed, take a pill. Just eat something, you'll be fine. And on the other spectrum, there are total fundamentalists. If you're depressed, it's a spiritual problem. These are the people that will never take a pill because that's a lack of faith. You can't put your trust in that. You have to put your trust in God. And listen, God is neither in place. He understands we as humans have a multiplicity of natures. And if you have a worldview that treats every aspect of humanity, you have a worldview that can stand up to reality like no other. And that's something that God reveals in His wisdom. Something that we should really take heart. So Elijah is running to Mount Horeb. But why Mount Horeb? Well, this mountain has another name the commentators will note on. It's also called Mount Sinai. Elijah is running to the mountain of God, Mount Sinai. And when he gets there, the translations say that he went into a what? He went into a cave. That's not really exactly what that word means. It's more of a generic word for like an opening or like a cleft. Centuries before, Moses was on Mount Sinai and he said to God, I want to see your face. And God said, get into a cleft behind a rock, and I will pass by. Commentators have noted that Elijah was looking for the exact same spot that Moses got into, because he wanted to see God. He wanted to see who God truly was. And the second thing we can learn from this passage is that when God reveals himself, he reveals himself in a multiplicity of forms. Multiplicity of wisdom, multiplicity of forms. This is the first way God reveals himself in this passage. He reveals himself before Elijah even gets there as the angel of the Lord. If you study Old Testament theology, you'll know that the angel of the Lord is not an ordinary angel like Michael or Gabriel. The angel of the Lord is a prefiguration of Christ. The Hebrew word for angel doesn't mean a divine created being with wings. It actually just means messenger. And a lot of times when you see messenger in Genesis or the Bible, it's the exact same word that shows up for angel. And Jesus is said to reveal himself as this angel long before the Old Testament. A good example is if you look at Exodus 3, when God showed up to Moses in the burning bush. The actual phrase it says, and the angel of the Lord appeared in the burning bush. And then the angel of the Lord said, I am who I am. God first reveals himself in a total comforting manner. He takes care of Elijah. He gets his needs met before he takes Elijah up to the mountain and reveals who he is and reveals him what he has to do. The second way God reveals himself is an earthquake, wind, and fire. Now, people will know it says God was not in there. Right. God is not in those things, but it's not a coincidence. They just showed up in that moment for Elijah. The passage is not saying God is never an earthquake, wind, or fire. Because as you read the Bible, God shows up with those things many times. At the end of the book of Job, what does he show up as? Wind. When he shows up on Mount Sinai and comes down to Israel, earthquake. Then before Moses and before Abraham, fire. The passage is not saying that God is none of these things. The passage is pointing out to Elijah that this is not who God is in his plan for humanity. This is not God's ultimate plan. And this is who Elijah wanted God to be. He wanted God to come down in earthquake, wind, and fire, just like he did on the altar in 1 Kings 18. It consumed Jezebel and Ahab. Consumed it. It restored faith in Israel. This is the time, God. This is how you're supposed to act. I did everything right, and this is what is supposed to happen. This is Elijah's biggest problem. He knows exactly who God is supposed to be. He had the right plan. He was working it alone, and it was going to work perfectly if only God held up his end of the bargain. But God reveals that that was never his plan. And we'll get to that in a moment as to why. But see, we as Christians often relate, God, why don't you just come down, kill our stupid leaders, set up the right government, and just get this right? No, if you want to convert the world to follow you, why don't you just show yourself before an atheist convention and while Richard Dawkins is on the stage? That will change the world. No, that's what you got to do. You have to do this. We may not do that about the entire world, but we do that in our own life. God, I have this perfect plan. I will go to college, and I'll get this job, and then I will start a family, I'll get the perfect house. God, why are you not holding up the perfect plan? I'm doing everything right. I need you to work on your book for me. And what does God say to Elijah after Elijah laments? He says, look, Elijah, Elijah, I've had a plan. I've been working all along. But I need you to go and anoint Hazael. I need you to go and anoint Jacob. What makes you think I don't have a plan just because it's not yours? Look, Paul says in Romans, look, who are you that could be the question of honor? It's a very hard passage to swallow. But we have to remember, God has a plan. And one of the things I know, it's very hard to see God in the present. But I can look back 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and I can see that things I wanted back then, if I would have gotten it, it would have been a total disaster. And I can see how God moved me up to this point. And if we can take that logic and we can apply it to the future, then why did we ever doubt God? Well, it's because of sin, of course. But God reveals to Elijah, he has a plan. And what we need to know is God tells Elijah to go anoint Hazael, king of Syria. Hazael was a pagan king. There's no evidence at all Hazael ever converted to Judaism or started following the true God or changed his ways. Hazael, the text sheets indicate Hazael remained in his pagan ways. You see, as Christians, we tend to exclude ourselves. We tend to say, there's really only a few of us who are real Christians out there. The Catholics are too much into tradition, the Pentecostals are too much into the Spirit, and the Baptists are too much into the flaming fire of tongues from the pulpit. The Presbyterians are just kind of boring, and the Episcopalians water everything down. There's really only a few of us real Christians who have the truth out there. And God says, look, you're putting me in a box. What makes you think I can't work through Pentecostals or Catholics or Coptic Christians out there? You can't put me in a box and say I can only do this. I've been told in my life that unless I believe in the rapture, I'm working for Satan. Unless I only read King James, I'm working for Satan. Unless I believe the earth is less than 6,000 years old, I'm working for Satan. Unless I believe the earth is billions of years old, I'm working for Satan. You can't put God in a box. Just because some people don't have the correct theology, like every one of us knows we have in our hearts, that doesn't mean God can't use them. It doesn't mean God can't use us. And God says to Elijah, look, you're not alone. There are 7,000 in Israel. What makes you think I can't use them just because they're not like you? Just because they don't have the perfect wisdom? Just because they're not as zealous as you? Just because they're not in their full-time ministry as you? I can use them. You just have just a narrow-minded Elijah. Elijah didn't want this. As you can see, up until verse 14, Elijah is still very, depressed. He wanted God to come down and deal with this issue. And God explains to Elijah, not the words, but in actions, why that won't work. He says, Elijah, get behind a rock, I'm going to pass before you. In this great earthquake, in this wind, in this fire. But Elijah isn't harmed. Why? He's behind a rock. He's safe. God is saying, and then after he comes in a small still voice. And Elijah is saying to God something he can only get a glimpse of, because he was looking before the cross. What we can see after. He's saying, Elijah, look, if I came down in all my power, in all my glory, look, there would be a rock you could hide behind. Ahab and Jezebel would be swallowed up, but so would you. I would win the war, but I would lose you. Because you're all sinners. You all need grace. Just because you think you're better than them out there, that doesn't mean you're perfect. The gospel message should be summed up in 2 lines. You're more sinful than you will ever realize, but you've been given more grace than you will ever realize. And Elijah needs to see this, and this is what God is showing him. Because after he comes in a small still voice, and what he's saying is like, look, Elijah, when I come, it will not be in all this power. When I come, it'll be as a humble, small voice. The old King James says a still small voice. Because I'm not coming to convince people I exist. I'm coming to change hearts. Look, if God wanted to convince the world he exists, he could do that. But is that going to change hearts? Is that going to bring people to God just suddenly popped up in the room right now, in a room full of atheists. Yeah, they may bow down and worship you, but out of fear, not out of love. And the only way you're going to get through this life, the only way you're going to be saved from your sins is love. Through grace. It's not going to be out of fear. There's a song by a song, and it captures the gospel perfectly. The first verse is, I see the King of Glory coming on the clouds of fire. The whole earth shakes. And we tend to think, okay, the next line is going to be, I see him coming with a flaming sword on a white horse. He comes to defeat his enemies and he justifies the saints. And he kills the Antichrist. That's not the next line. The next line is, I see his love and mercy washing all away our sins. What? No. Why did you come down to deal with the sinners? Because if he did, we would all be done. But God has put us behind a rock to protect us from that. Because he knows you could never get. You could never get there on your own. The last thing that God does to get Elijah out of his depression, this is an important point, because this is what finally breaks Elijah's depression. Is he tells Elijah to go do his will. One of the things about depression is it constantly causes a person to focus in on themselves. I'm so depressed. I'm so miserable. No one could ever love me. I've ruined my whole life. What have I done? What do they do? They're full of themselves. They're so self-absorbed. C.S. Lewis said there were two forms of pride. We tend to know of the first form of pride, the superior form of pride, where someone's just full of themselves and they think they're the greatest thing ever. But Lewis points out there's two forms of pride. There's also the inferior form of pride, where someone is always down on themselves. They're always mad with themselves, always sad at themselves, but they're just as self-absorbed. You see? And so being humble is not thinking less of oneself. It's thinking of oneself less. If you ever be a humble person, you won't realize they're humble. You just realize they're very happy and they're very interested in you. Elijah needs to get out of his depression by focusing on other people. If you want to get out of depression, sometimes you don't need to think about your own problems. Sometimes you need to go out with people with their problems. And that will help you to get over your own problems. Because a lot of times, we've just become, individualistic culture. We become so self-absorbed. It's all about me. It's all about what I can do. It's all about making the American dream. It's all about being the protagonist of my own story. But God says you need to stop doing that. Stop worrying about you and start worrying about other people. And you will see your heart change. You will see things happen. Why do you think Jesus is always telling his disciples, go and help other people? And they're always complaining, well, we can't because, they're not clean. Or, I don't know, they've not washed their hands. Or, I don't know if we should let the little children come to Jesus. God is always like, if you want to get out of yourself, you need to focus on others. This is why he says in the Gospels, what you do to one of these, you also do to me. Jesus makes it very clear. Our mission, our goal, the reason we exist is for others. And we have come into this Americanized view of the gospel that we are here to make and claim our own stuff. We need to achieve that at this point. That's what God came for us, to make us wealthy, happy, and prosper. But that's not what Jesus says, and that's not what God tells Elijah to do. God tells Elijah to get busy. Now, a lot of people say, but it's hard to do. Yes, it's impossible to do. It's absolutely impossible to do on your own. How do we get to that point where we can actually become that? The only way you're going to get there is love. And the only place you see the greatest love in the entire universe is at the cross. Look, there are many gods out there. There are many gods. There's only one God out there who loves your actions. He doesn't sit on his throne and say, follow me because I love you. Jesus Christ says, I love you and I will prove it. The atheist philosopher Albert Camus once said that Christ, the man God, can no longer be entirely blamed for the problem because he came and suffered too. Jesus could have come as a king, son of Rome, died for our sins by fighting a lion to death in the Colosseum. But he came as a pauper, lived as a homeless person, and died as a criminal. Jesus suffered in the most unbelievable amount of pain, just to show that he loves you. And if you have that as your worldview, you will be able to take on anything. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do out of these walls. It doesn't matter if you succeed. It doesn't matter if you fail. It's not based on what you do, because you were already given love. You were given grace. The early Christians suffered some of the worst persecutions imaginable. Some of them were put on spikes, wrecked them up while they were still alive, then covered in pitch and lit on fire and burned them to light Nero's palaces at night in his gardens. And many of these Christians died singing, died praising God. I could not do that. I'm not that good of a person. I'm spoiled in America. I have really nice things. But you know what they had? Nothing, except a man who died for them, who died and conquered death for them, who gave them everything when he didn't have to. And they knew no matter what happened to them, they would be okay. That they would be resurrected and that God had already taken the penalty for them. But we Christians, we do not acknowledge something. We're not the best people out there. In a lot of ways, we can be part of the problem, but we can't be part of the solution. If you're a good religious person who reads your Bible every day, who goes out and does good works, you can't help but feel superior to secularists who don't know the truth. You know the truth either. And if you're a secularist, you can't help but feel superior to those religious fundamentalists because you're more enlightened than they are. But the gospel says you're a moral failure. The gospel says it's only for weak people. It's only for people who admit they're weak and they admit they can't do it on their own. And so if you accept it at the center of your life, you can't feel superior to anyone because you've already accepted that you can't do it on your own. When I was in college, there was this atheist girl who did far more for charity than I ever did, who was always helping at the local women's shelters, who was always a better person. Now, why would I say that? Don't I have the truth? Isn't she an atheist? How could she be a better person than me? Well, the truth is I'm a sinner. I'm saved by grace. So it doesn't matter how good these other people are. What matters is how good Jesus was. And if that's the center of your life, that will equip you to change the world. That will equip you to go out and not care about yourself, to not think about yourself. And God tells Elijah, get busy. Stop thinking of yourself. Start thinking of what I've done for you. Start thinking of my plan and what I've done. Let's pray. God, we thank you for your word. We thank you that you've given us examples like Elijah so that we can learn from their mistakes and we can grow from them. We thank you that you came for us when you didn't have to and died the most excruciating death, separated from the Father in our place.